Hi, I'm Jackie Tranquita, and we're at New York's Institute of Culinary Education for the first ever cabin pressure cook-off. We started with 4, 3 remain. Only one chef will walk away with the grand prize, a seat on Delta's culinary team. So please join me in welcoming back our remaining chefs. First up, we have Linton Hopkins of Atlantis Restaurant Eugene, our reigning winner. From Memphis, Kelly English of Restaurant Iris, and George Mendez of New York's Aldea. Now, all meals served in flight are first cooked on the ground, plated, chilled, then transported to the aircraft. Flight attendants then reheat each dish before serving. So, for your second challenge, create a main course, plate, chill, reheat, and serve. You have 90 minutes to get your main course chilling. Chefs, you're now free to move out the kitchen. Ooh, simmering cauliflower.
Yeah.
What's going on in this?
It's going to be a little leek and cauliflower fondue that we're going to put underneath a little bit of filet. We're roasting some beef and making a sauce with it. I am making some comfortable food. There's nothing more comforting to me than beef.
What are you doing?
This plate is all going to be about layering of flavors, reductions, sweating, obviously, and sort of a slow infusion of flavor. So many times we look at Southern ingredients, we think, oh, it's all about pork, it's overcooked vegetables. The plate for the second challenge is about freshness and seasonality and tomatoes and summer squash and fresh lady peas, and there's not one pork product in that.
So what is the grand master plan?
The Grand Master Plan is basically a stew of lobster with lentils. A soup is always better the next day, so when you get a lot of flavor right at the beginning, it'll chill down and things will taste even better after it's chilled.
With the cooking underway, let's say hello to our judges. We have a new guest judge today. Mark Maynard-Parisi is the Senior Managing Partner for Blue Smoke. Tell us about some of the challenges of creating in-flight meals.
One of the challenges is interesting because these guys are going to face it today. You're fully cooking a protein and vegetables and sides and sauces. You're refrigerating it and then you're bringing it up back to temperature, sitting in an oven. So you have no more control.
We're talking about putting stuff up in the air and transporting it and chilling it and reheating it. It's just another challenge. The great thing about this business is there's always something to learn.
It's actually about lengthening the time that you can do advanced prep on a complete dish, put it in sort of this stasis mode, and then use technology of time and temperature to finish.
So we're seeing lobster.
Michelle, what would you say about that? Chill and reheat?
He has to undercook it or he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
What is that?
That's the lobster roe, lobster tamale. Got a really intense flavor of lobster, and then it's gonna flavor everything at the very end to really give that powerful flavor of lobster. It's a bold choice for sure, but I heated it up very delicately. So I take the tails off, cook those for 3 minutes, and then I took the claws off to cook those for 6 minutes.
All right, chefs, you have an hour before you have to chill your dishes.
I'm just delighted at how much connection to each person's sort of culinary heritage these dishes appear to be demonstrating.
Kelly's opening.
Kelly has there.
I think
Looks
he's just
like
having
it.
a drink.
Whoa. I feel bad as the sommelier. I should be over there helping out.
I have this adult-proof bottle of sherry that can't be opened. I'm cooking my mushrooms and I'm trying to deglaze my pan with this sherry and I can't get it open. And I come to a point where if I don't get this bottle open, they're gonna overcook.
Did you see what he just did?
He sabered it?
Well, you kind of.
You straight up took a knife.
Well, I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. Everybody was looking at me.
How are you feeling about throwing this in a refrigerator and cooling it down?
I think it'll be good. There's a lot of moisture in here.
Wait a minute. He pulled out bone marrow. He won me.
You had me at bone marrow.
You had me at bone marrow.
Or I see the bone marrow, and I think it'd be a great little twist to throw that in at the end of our sauce, funk it up a little bit. Bone marrow is Miles Davis.
The clock says 15 minutes left, chefs. Now, are you worried about chilling this down?
One of the reasons I'm plating so early is I want to chill each component on its own instead of covering it up while it's still hot and maybe
Causing some steam, some moisture.
right.
That's very hard with reheating because we're covered in foil and then it becomes mushy. So what are you going to do for that? I thought maybe little holes in the foil to create a convection current about the steam and the release of air. Cooking is very similar to alchemy. You know, you're not sure until you've done it a bunch of times.
Chefs, you have 5 minutes left. Seconds. Time to get your main course ready to chill.
I'm getting like worried.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Time is up.
Best point wins. Yeah, brother.
Just like an airline meal, each chef's creation is cooled for a few hours, put back in the oven, then we're gonna heat them up and serve them up.
Here we go. So it's crispy pan sauteed chicken, shelled lady peas, heirloom tomato fondue, and a summer squash casserole, and the mustard au jus, and then the kale salad, which has been macerated with blackberry juice. Then we have a volnay, premier cru, pinot noir.
The vegetables make it a really hearty dish, but not heavy. It's great.
It's clean, but yet so satisfying and hearty and rich and comforting.
How did you choose this wine?
Well, I could just drink wine from the region of Burgundy the rest of my life and be completely satisfied.
Well done, chef. Honestly, I think it's a beautiful combination. There's that earthiness from the Burgundy region, bringing out that earthiness in the kale and the peas. I mean, to me, it's just like a stroke of genius.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So what we have here is we have a little filet of beef with a little bit of cauliflower and leek fondue. There's some artichokes that we roasted in brown butter, some root vegetables, and then this is just a little roasted beef jus, finished with just a little bit of bone marrow.
That was the bone marrow.
Because you had it, you might as
Correct.
well.
The gremolata is a really nice spark plug of acidity.
I love how the cauliflower actually works as a sauce as well as kind of a starch. This is where I get to that point where I'm like, oh, this is why I'm not a vegetarian.
Thank you, chef.
So this is a lobster and lentil stew. There's some spices in there, flavored with the lobster sauce that I made. There's some cinnamon, a little bit of star anise. And then we took a roll of the lobster also and cooked it and sprinkled it everywhere so you get much more flavor of lobster intensity as well. And the wine you're drinking is one of my favorites, Condro.
I'm really impressed by the texture of the lobster. I'm really amazed at how it's cooked perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't taste at all as though it was reheated.
No,
It
thank
tastes
you.
as if you were cooking it the first time.
Those spices just do a big bear hug with the wine. It's
Well done.
got the right weight.
Thank you.
Thanks very
I
much.
appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Linton's fried chicken, the most beautiful, perfect dish. All the textures, all the flavors.
The other thing I thought that was really interesting, it was a very American dish.
Right.
It just showed that American food is a cuisine.
Once again, Linton blows us away.
Yes.
All right.
Well, let's talk about Kelly's dish. Not something maybe I hadn't seen before,
Right.
but man, talk about not being able to put my fork down.
It was one of those dishes that revealed itself as you ate it. You sort of discover a little piece of onion or some more sauce.
Not the aha when you set it down, but the aha as you
Right.
eat it.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
George, that lobster dish was really interesting.
If in fact it is 30% of our taste buds that we're going to lose, if you took away 30%, no problem.
Yeah. No spicy heat, just spice. And so the lobster still got to sing out, and then putting the lobster coral really amped that lobster taste.
We started with all incredible chefs, and they have outdone themselves.
Yes.
Like there's no mistakes. It's perfection after perfection
Right.
after
Yeah, it
perfection.
was- yeah.
I'd like to get voted off the judging panel right now, just so I don't have to make a decision, but I think we have one, right?
I believe we do.
Hello, chefs. In the second challenge, you were asked to create a main course that could be chilled and reheated and then served in the style of in-flight service.
Linton, your take on chicken fingers blew us away. We couldn't have imagined something that would turn out so crispy, and those peas are the things of legend.
Kelly, you did it again, where you created a dish where I couldn't figure out what the perfect bite was, and the sauce, we can't stop talking about the sauce.
George, a perfectly cooked lobster to boot, and then that salad on top of it was like the icing on the cake.
So, having said all of that, one of you did rise to the top. And the winner of the second round is Chef Linton Hopkins.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you very much.
That means George and Kelly, one of you has been cut. And I wish I could be voted out of the kitchen rather than be in this spot right now, but Chef Kelly English, you will be on the next flight home.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me.
We had criteria. Everybody was, on a par on taste. So where we had to go was things like presentation and creativity.
Sure, I'm disappointed, but these are world-class chefs. I leave here head held high and glad that I got to cook with some friends.
I feel good, but I can't let anything down. Now's the time to close it out. I'm a big baseball fan, so you don't want to call a no-hitter in the 7th inning, but I want to win it all. All right, here we go.
We're going night to night.
Bravo.
Kelly is going home, but that means Linton and George will go head-to-head for a spot on the Delta Culinary team. Be sure to stay tuned as the competition continues here at the Institute of Culinary Education. On the next Cabin Pressure Cook-Off,
You both really just exceeded our expectations. One did stand out as best. The winner and the newest member of the Delta Culinary team